Genie and Cuckoo.
How does the camera work? The modern camera is an evolution of an early-day concept of camera obscura, sometimes in the first half of the 19th century. It is around this time that the camera obscura boxes were used to expose light-sensitive material to the projected image. Camera obscura in Latin literally means dark chamber. In olden times, the camera obscura were dark rooms with a hole or lens on one side. When the light passes through the hole, an inverted image is projected on the opposite side wall or table. With this basic understanding, now let's see how our cameras work. In its simplest form, our olden-day cameras were light-tight, or in other words, dark box. On one side of this box, there was a hole or sometimes a tube with glass pieces attached to the tube. We today know these tubes as camera lenses. The other side of the box, that is the wall, right opposite the hole, was used to cast the outside image. Sometimes later, the inventors found out that there were few chemicals that are sensitive to light. Inventors soon realized that they could use these chemicals to capture and store images. This was the birth of camera films. The films, like camera, have been through many evolution stages. Earlier, photographers used to use glass dipped in some form of silver nitrate as films. Then they started using thin metal sheet and later plastic films. These days, with DSLR camera, the capture area has been replaced by a light-sensitive sensors. In the earlier video, we mentioned that the films are the chemical elements of the camera, and it was used to capture as well as store the images. However, with the today's DSLR camera, this responsibility has been separated. So the light-sensitive sensor in your camera captures the image, sends the information to a small computer inside your camera. Here, the image is worked on before sending it to a storage component of your camera. Your SD card, for example, is the storage for your camera. Okay, so let's go back to our old-day camera. We have a dark box with a hole and sometimes a tube with glass on one end. And inside, on the opposite wall, there is a film which is covered with light-sensitive chemical. Now, because the chemical on the film is sensitive to light, we really cannot expose it to light all the time. We needed a door or a flap to close the hole. As a result, shutters were invented. To control how much light should pass through the camera opening, aperture was invented. So how does a DSLR camera work? We will cover this topic in detail as we progress and learn more advanced things. But for now, let's understand the basics of DSLR camera. Your DSLR has a mirror in the body of the camera. So when the light passes through the lens, it hits the mirror and reflects like this. As a result, you see the subject in the optical viewfinder. When the photo is taken, the mirror swings out of the way, light hits the light-sensitive sensor and the photo is taken. The image is then sent to the computer inside your camera for processing. And then it is stored in the storage component of your camera, for example, SD card. I hope you enjoyed this lesson too and have better understanding of the brief history and working of your DSLR camera. Your support will help us spread knowledge. Please subscribe to our channel if you love what we do.